Okay, I'm going to show the original Iceskate Sharpener by Sid. I'm going to show how you take the top off. It's similar to the newer one, but the older model has a distinctive single bar that goes across the bottom. It has a vertical carriage through here. So there's one single bar on the original unit from, I believe, the late 70s, and then the newer model has two bars. Okay, before I start to show how to take the top off the original Iceskate Sharpener of Sid's that came out in the late 70s, I want to show the old one because I had a couple errors. The newer machine does have a base, and here it is. It holds the two rods. It goes on the bottom of the 56C frame motor. So it does have a base. A couple times in the video I'll say there is no base. It has a base that hangs down for a single rod. So this is the current machine. Sid passed away, I think, in last summer of 2024. And there's another fellow selling it. But the newer machine's got two rods. The older machine has just one rod. And it is way lower than the bottom of the motor and has a vertical carriage. And it also says Iceskate Sharpener. And then the suction hose comes from the bottom here. And so a lot of the parts are exactly the same. They changed this one piece. And of course the total bottom piece has changed because it uses a different type of carriage. The two rods gives the ability to go in and out, and it doesn't have a slight cross error the old machine is. The other machine is really good. It just has a slight error if you have a curved blade. And so if you go from one to another, there's a little bit of error, which normally isn't a problem. But that's why he changed it, also to add different types of carriages. Also another error is I a couple times mentioned this as being the spindle motor. This is just the spindles driven by the motor by a belt. And to adjust the belt tension, you unscrew this and revolve this around because there's an eccentric. There's a couple goofs on there. But I'm going to add this in front of the video on how to take the top off of the older machine. It's similar to the newer one, but the older model has a distinctive single bar that goes across the bottom. It has a vertical carriage through here. So there's one single bar on the original unit from, I believe, the late 70s, and then the newer model has two bars. It's got the same motor. It doesn't have this foot like on here. It has the same 56 frame motor and just about the same top. I think it's pretty much all the same. I think the dust guard may be slightly different. It doesn't have this name on it. But to take this apart, there's a pin that comes out, and this is the dust guard that you use when you're dressing the wheel. There's a fan intake port on the bottom, and on the newer model it comes from the side. So this got changed. Anyways, this comes off with this little knob here. All this stuff is English threads, American threads, SAE. So this piece here was changed, so the entrance for the vacuum was on the side. And that's probably because it interferes with the carriage layout. So I'm going to go ahead and take the disc off here. I'm going to go through and turn this counterclockwise. Now I took this apart, undid this a little bit earlier just to make the video a little bit quicker. Here's the grind disc. It's got a 3/8 inch hub, 3-inch OD. And then, but take the dresser arm off. This goes back and forth when you've got a disc on here to cut the radius of hollow. And then the size in inches is on here. And of course the diamond has a number on it which you specify, which is from the diamond to this size. So if you get a unit used or new, and the old or new one, you want to specify what the number is on the diamond. And then to take you move this back and forth. This is the gross adjust. You get it close. These two knobs. This turns it, moves it minutely in and out. It has a eccentric. So you want to get this to where it's sort of close. And then this will move it either a little bit closer, so you can go ahead and just gingerly take off. You create the radius of hollow on here. So I'm going to take this off, get back to the video, undo these screws, take off the dressing arm. These they're not screws, they're nut pieces. Here's the dressing arm. This rotates back and forth, and then the eccentric is on here. That's fixed, and over here is the eccentric piece that moves this slightly, a little bit. Set the side down, make sure I don't hurt the diamond. Now, these two big bolts here use a SAE 5/16 inch hex. And these were actually fairly snug. I had to tap on it, but I'll take this piece off. So in the upgrade, these are cap screws. They look like 3/8 inch. They're probably 3/8 inch by 16 threads per inch if I grade 8 cap screws. So this piece got changed because of the inlet for the air. So in the upgrade of the units, they probably changed this out to create the newer model. These are going directly into the motor frame. This has got a standard USA North American frame. I think they use it around the world. And then this is the 5. So what is this? 7/32. This comes off here. And I haven't taken the motor off yet, which I probably should do. That's loose on there. And I'm probably not going to take that out on this video. But this is the pulley, hooks on top of the motor. The spindle in here. Let's see what size the wrench is on that. That is a I can't even read it. Looks like 3/16. .3/16 of an inch. This has got a split, so you undo this. You move the motor up and down, and then this is actually on an eccentric too. So to tighten the belt up, you rotate the frame of the motor to get the belt tension right. So this comes off here. Push this down, and you adjust the motor height if you change the spindle so it matches this. And then that looks like, I'm just guessing, ooh, I got lucky. That is a 3/32. There's a professor in college used to say they're using vulgar fractions. 3/32. That's a 3/32 inch wrench. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to attempt to take that off. But this right now here is just all loose. So the only thing's holding it on is just the, this is just stuck into the bore, the top feature of the motor. And I'm going to put one of these on before this falls off and create a disaster here. Whoops. I'm going to show just in a second the side view of this, just for kicks. And because I rotated this, okay, that's just enough to prevent a disaster. So I'm going to stop the camera. Well, I don't really have to. Let me just see if I can flip this over on the side and show more or less what this looks like. Let me just see if I can put this down here like this. This is the 56 frame motor. Okay, I got the focus a little bit better. Probably have to edit that out. This is the casting piece. The motor on here, 56 frame, has got bolts that come through because they use these a lot on all sorts of drill presses and stuff, mills. There's bolts on. These are very, very standard motors. They're available all around the world. The frame and hole spacing is all very standardized. This is the split frame on the spindle that you undo. Again, you rotate this around to adjust the belt tension on this. And there's what the motor looks like. And just so I don't have a very good fixture to hold this. So in the upgrade kit, he used the same motor. He got rid of this foot, and then it's got all this extra stuff on there. That's why the upgrade cost is pretty high on there. And I've just got that sitting on the ground like that. I'm going to adjust the focus a little bit better here. Should be about there. This particular one's got some decent noise to it. So I'm just going to run another video later where I want to run this, and then I want to go ahead and take the belt off and run it to see if it's how much is the motor versus how much is the spindle. Because this guy, I bought this used several years ago, and it as is, and it makes a good bit of noise compared to the other one.